I'm here with my good friend Dan LeMonnier, a local celebrity from Munster, Indiana, otherwise known as Benny the Bull. He's here to support his wife, Sherry Smith LeMonnier, and her art show. Dan, could you tell me how you got to be Benny the Bull?
Well, actually, I started out in 1984 with the Chicago White Sox. I auditioned to be Rhubarb, one of the mascots that they had at the time. And about 2 years later, one of their front office people moved over to the Bulls from the Sox, and he just took me along with.
What do you do when the Bulls aren't playing?
Well, they have me out doing appearances. I do about 200 outside appearances a year. And when I'm not doing appearances, I also write children's stories and music. And I have my own little company called Folk Songs and Foolery that is entertainment for families.
Where have you performed at, Dan?
Well, I've performed everywhere from local schools like Frank Hammond and Eads and Elliott to the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C., and the presidential inaugural, and even the Shanghai Children's Palace in China.
I understand you have a background in acting. Could you tell me a little bit about that? Isn't that what you did before you started?
Yeah, I graduated from the Goodman School of Drama in Chicago with a master's degree and worked in Chicago theater for about 4 or 5 years before I wound up being a mascot. And my storytelling took off so much that I really haven't done any auditioning for about 10 years now.
Dan, I understand there's 2 books that you're involved in. Could you tell me something about those 2 books?
Sure. There's 2 children's books out about Benny the Bull. One is called Benny Gets a Bully Ache, and that's a story by local author Jane Bomberger, all about Benny meeting up with neighborhood kids, and they teach him how to ride a bike, and he in turn helps them deal with the neighborhood bully. And then the other one is a coloring book for younger kids, and it's Benny's A to Z coloring book, and it's the whole alphabet with little rhymes for each letter, and kids get to color and work on their alphabet.
That's great. Now, if a community group or a school or a private party would like to get a hold of you, how would they do that?
Well, they could call me at my office, which is 923-5997, or they could check out my website, which is www.banjotales.com.